After the company formation process has been successfully done, the next important step is that the manager of the company becomes a UAE resident. This means we have to go through the visa process and the Emirates ID. After this is done, which takes approximately 1 week, the next obstacle, I would say, is the opening of a corporate bank account. Here we have seen that it depends mainly on the background of the person who is running the business and the business activity he is in. If a person can prove that he is a specialist in his field and he has a business activity which is related to his history, it takes between 2 and 6 weeks to open a company bank account. They want to have certain documents about the company, which is understandable. They want to have documentation about the shareholder, about his expertise, where are the funds coming from, a normal compliance process in the UAE. Now, having said this, we still have between free zone company and mainland company a bit of a different opinion from the bank side. They tend to see free zone companies more risky from their onboarding process, and definitely the banks prefer the LLC companies more. History of this point is that in the past, in an LLC company, there was always a local involved, which gave the bank more security. Now, because the locals are completely out, we have to see how the bank system develops, how they see the LLC 100% owned by an individual versus a free zone company 100% by a foreigner. So we have to see how the banking system reacts to it. But in general, 2 to 6 weeks is really the time you need to consider before you have a bank account. In extreme cases, it can also take up to 6 months, but it mainly depends on how are the documents prepared, and what is the business activity, what is the background of the person who applies for the corporate bank account. A personal bank account is necessary for your day-to-day living. You need to pay the rent, you need to pay electricity, you need to pay cooling, you need to pay your telephone bill. All of this is running through a personal bank account. You get usually a credit card with the personal bank account so that you have your good opportunity of also collecting miles with different credit cards with the Emirates Airlines. And I see a personal bank account as an essential part to really establish your life in the UAE, in Dubai, because with this you have access to a dirham account, and you can transfer your salary to this account, and you can have your daily expenses to spend. For the corporate bank account, of course, you have a company, and this company wants to raise invoices to your clients. And if the clients are in the UAE mainland or they are abroad, at one time you want your invoice to get paid. And the banking system will check quite detailed if the company has raised an invoice in the name company XYZ LLC, and the receiver of the invoice need, of course, to pay to this LLC, to this bank account. And they cannot pay to me as Uwe Hohmann as an individual, because then the company raising the invoice and the receiver of the money is not matching, and sooner or later the bank will stop this transaction and you don't get your money. It's stuck with a corporate banking system and you don't have access to this. So we strongly recommend, after the company is set up, to approach us, that we support you with the corporate bank account opening. And we have for this special task a relation to two previous relationship manager of local banks, and these people know the banking system. They know how the bank ticks. They know how the forms need to be provided, what kind of additional information is needed. Do we have a website? Do we have a LinkedIn profile? Do we have a substance which we can prove that this company setup is done in a serious way to do business? And all these kind of expertise is given from our side to our clients, so that we are successful in opening the bank account.